Arizona is high on nearly every outdoor enthusiast list. If you RV, mountain bike, or even like a good hike, chances are you have heard story tales about how beautiful and how vast the landscape is. But Jess and I are on a mission to see if this little town between Flagstaff and Phoenix could be considered Arizona's most outdoorsy town. Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Trae, and my fiance and I have been living in this RV for a little over a year touring the states. And we are currently here in our first weekend of a month-long stay here in Flagstaff, which is about an hour north of Sedona. So Jess, what do you think Sedona is gonna be like?
Red rocks.
Just red rocks?
Yeah.
And what do you think, what about the town of
Expensive.
Sedona? Expensive?
Yes.
So, like, are you expecting like a Jackson, Wyoming kind of priced here?
Yeah.
This is our first time ever checking it out, so needless to say, we don't really know what to expect outside of the photos we've seen online. But we have heard it's known for its great outdoor scene. And by exploring some trails, trying out local cuisine, and checking out the town, we hope to get a better sense of what it's like to live like a Sedonian for the day. The first stop of the day is hitting Devil's Bridge Trail, which is just outside of downtown Sedona. And first impressions of riding through is if you could throw a town in the middle of Zion National Park, you would have Sedona. This place is beautiful. So it's 7:45 in the morning, and this trailhead parking lot is completely full. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to find a spot or if we're just gonna have to wait our turn, but this place is completely packed. So you have to get here a little early. Luckily for us, the Devil's Bridge has multiple trails stemming from more than one trailhead and parking lot, and our next option had plenty of parking left. But we weren't able to take advantage of it because as soon as we parked and put on the boots, I realized something. So, guess who forgot to bring Kenai's leash? This guy. So we're gonna have to go into town, see if we can either rent or just buy a leash, and we'll be back. Luckily, all the stores are literally 5 to 10 minutes away, which is the beautiful side of an outdoorsy town. All right, luckily Safeway has a leash, and it was only $10, and we're gonna switch up plans just ever so slightly. So instead of starting with trails, we're gonna go get breakfast first because everybody's starting to hit through the trails now, and so since the trailheads are filling up, we're thinking maybe the breakfast spots are a little empty. There's this place called Wildflower that we saw earlier in the week, and it has great reviews.
I bring coffee.
The savior. Jess ordered an egg veggie burrito, and I wanted to try their bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, which looked good. All right, it is time to dig in on this egg, cheese, and bacon bagel. So let's see how good this is. Oh, a little runny. Already mistake number one. It's okay. It's an average bacon, egg, and cheese bagel, I would say. We rate this restaurant a solid 5 out of 10. The bacon, egg, and cheese was sort of generic, and the coffee was awful for both Jess and I, she had a chai latte and I had a mocha. We will never return. But the good news is there's a place called Sedona, which is also sort of a rave around here. Let's give them a check, yeah?
We got a glaze and a blueberry.
All right, so this place is lifting our spirits because this is 1, pure sugar, and 2, a lot better than the spot we just left. So honestly, I'm a little regretful right now because we should have gotten coffee here. By the time we make it back to the trailhead, it's jam-packed, but luckily we were able to score a spot. This town really takes its weekend outdoor activities seriously, with a ton of mountain bikers and hikers getting started on their day.
So we're finally on trail. It is a beautiful day. We got lucky with parking.
Very lucky, actually.
And on other news, our Starlink is also available for pickup. I bet you're excited.
So by the looks of it, this trail is meant for bikes and hikers. I do see some bike tracks, and it's pet friendly, which is another bonus. Kenai is having a blast. It's just a little shy of being too hot for him, but he doesn't really mind. The views here are incredible and the trail is well marked, which is nice.
All right, does this look familiar? If you've seen our Big Bend video, you know where this is from. Jess, first impressions of the trail.
I mean, I think it's a beautiful trail. It's just crowded.
It is very crowded, guys. I mean, this is what, 10:30, 11 o'clock?
We're late.
We're a little late to the game. Forgot the leash. We went to get breakfast, but we're okay. We're fine.
We're having fun.
We're having fun, but it is very crowded. We are having to stop about every 50 feet or so to let people pass on trail. So if you want to come and do this one, just get here a little early or a little late, maybe sunset.
Right as we start the incline, we found the crowd again at the most awkward part of the trail.
All right, come on. Get that last leg up there. Come on. Need a little push. Oh, I got this one on. Thank you.
You're okay. Good boy.
This is one of the first spots you can have to have 360-degree views, and I think we have just a little bit more to go up to the Devil's Bridge. How you hanging in there, man? Are you doing okay? Yeah? So you've seen a lot of people, got a lot of pets, a lot of compliments today. So if only if you had your sister here. So this is the Devil's Bridge, and this is where you would come to take the photo, but there is about an hour and a half wait, as you can see behind me here. So we're just gonna come here, view it for a little bit, and then we're gonna bounce because we have some other trails we wanna get to.
Listen, Kenai has some serious bouldering skills. Maybe he's part mountain goat.
Back at the trailhead, and how far did we go? Hang on. Oh, you got it? How far did we go? 4.3 miles. That's all, guys, 4.3 miles. But made it back to the truck, and I know Kenai's gonna take a little nap over to the next hike, but in between, we are going to
is to head on back to Flagstaff for a second because our replacement Starlink is ready for pickup. The TLDR on this situation is as soon as we arrived to Flagstaff from Monument Valley a week ago, our Generation 2 just simply failed. So we reached out to Starlink with skeptical hopes because technically our dish was outside of the original warranty.
We have internet.
And luckily the FedEx station was only about 20 minutes outside of Sedona, so not a ton of time lost today.
Sedona could easily be one of the most outdoor-centric towns in the U.S. I mean, this trail is literally right in the back of a neighborhood, which is very, very interesting, I would say.
This man is lost. He doesn't know where he's going. Look at him.
Me and Kenai know exactly where we're going.
I don't know about that.
The problem here is the original trail that takes you to the cave is closed off. So we've been trying to find a workaround for about an hour now. Something I still can't get over is how this town is settled in some of the most beautiful scenery I have seen in Arizona. And this is the part where we came down from the hike and I started having some serious allergy issues, which ended up giving me a terrible migraine. So we called it an early night, but tomorrow we are going to take up a different form of trail exploring.
So Jess and I have been wanting to get some bikes for a long time now. I say long time, probably for about 6 to 8 months. Really ever since we went to Salida, Colorado. And I actually read a statistic about Salida, which is like one of the biking capitals of the United States. And I can see why, because everywhere we went over there, everybody had a bike. And we started having this little itch to have bikes of our own. We didn't rent any or anything like that, and we didn't want to go that route because just a couple of bike rentals for 2 people, after a while, that's gonna add up to a bike itself. So we just went ahead, made the plurge, and got 2 Treks, which they were on sale. I will say that. We got the Roscoe 7s by Trek. We were talked into it, and then the guy said it would grow with you as you got more advanced in your mountain biking. I'm new to mountain biking. I grew up on bikes. Jess grew up on bikes as well, but we have never done anything like mountain biking, so we're kind of excited to add that to our list of hobbies.
Like I just mentioned, we picked up 2 Trek Roscoe 7s from Single Tracks in Flagstaff.
All right, so if you guys are ever in town and need a bike, Single Tracks is your place.
The Roscoe is a hardtail bike with a Shimano brake system and RockShox for suspension that comes with 29-inch tubeless tires.
However, we are still in the market for a hitch for our RV. So if you know of any good hitches or any good hitch brands, just let us know. Comment down below what you think we should hitch them up with.
Our tailgate pad is from Daikin, and I'm pretty surprised on how well it holds the bikes with the individual straps, even at highway speeds. And a few minutes later, we are heading down the switchbacks to the Valley of Sedona again, on the hunt for somewhere to park in downtown to check out some of the shops.
Jess and I could not find parking in the cutesy downtown portion of Sedona, so we had to kind of find a parking lot at Whole Foods, and Jess's first ride is going to be from a Whole Foods parking lot. So, you ready to bring him down?
Let's go.
Feels weird, like what are you doing, people? I'm just getting ready for a bike ride, that's all.
Listen, if you've ever been to Sedona, you know it's quite a hilly town, and the ride from Publix to downtown is no exception. But it's a good way to build up some speed.
After all that riding, it is time to go get some ice cream at, what is this? Sabrina's Gourmet Ice Cream. Jess, how was your first time back on the bike?
It was so much fun. Scary, but fun.
Scary? She hit a curb once.
Yes.
Yes.
The curb hit me.
Now it's time to relax with a little bit of ice cream and just walk around some shops. Are you after anything in specific, like a magnet or a sticker?
A sticker.
The downtown section for sure has its tourist traps, but you can also find stores that aren't so over the top. And while walking through town, I had the chance to hold a baby king snake.
You can barely feel it, right? It's so light. He's like warmed up.
He's trying to get right into your sleeve.
You let him. My hands are warm, man. You should like it. Jess and I did get a magnet and sticker, which we'll show you guys later on, but we're kind of wrapped up here in town. We're going to come back later on for some dinner, but we want to build up an appetite first. So we found a trail. It's about 2.5 miles long, 2.6, 2.7 miles long. We can take the bikes on, so that's what we're going to go do. It's about a 30-minute bike ride just to get to the trailhead.
First trail on a bike.
First trail on a bike in Sedona. That's a pretty cool story.
The 30 minutes to get to this trailhead felt a lot longer than it actually was, but we were treated to the beautiful views alongside the Red Rock Scenic Byway on the way to the trailhead.
Finally made it to the trailhead, and that was about, what you said, about 5.5? 5.5? About 5.5 miles, and that was a workout just getting to the trailhead, but looks to be beautiful. It's a multi-use trail. Our first time actually putting these bikes on dirt, so we're gonna see what they're capable of.
Honestly, being out on the trail brought out the kids in us. We started with a fairly easy trail called the Bell Rock Trail.
All right, just finished our first ever trail ride, and Jess, how do you feel?
That was fun.
That was fun?
That was really fun. Scary in some parts, but like really fun. That was a good beginner trail.
I think because we were told when we bought these bikes that there was no beginner trails in Sedona, and I was lucky enough to find this one. It did take us a little ways to get out here, but it was still fun nonetheless. It's crazy because the perception of distance hiking versus biking is crazy, because those 2 miles would have taken us maybe an hour, hour and 15 or so to do. That took us maybe what, 15, 20 minutes maybe? Yeah, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, somewhere around there.
Not even 10, that's a little dramatic, but about 20.
And what's funny is it took us a lot longer to get here, and now we got to go all the way back. And see, maybe some food? I don't know. I'm not really hungry right now.
Maybe after those 5 miles, you'll work up an appetite.
Yeah, because we got some uphill to do. But
all in all, we biked around 20 miles today. And I'll say this, the way back was a lot easier than getting here. And it featured this little track with some hills that I had to try out. In the beginning, we sought to see if Sedona was Arizona's most outdoorsy town, which we can confidently put our stamp of approval on now. And next week, we will be taking on a pretty tough hike in the Grand Canyon called the Bright Angel Trail. Have you heard of it? And thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this weekend, and we will see you next week in the Grand Canyon. Peace and much love.